on a camping trip recently to the Grayson Highland State Park in Virginia. I had an experience where I was receiving messages from a butterfly in relation to my journey with the dragons and what that means. I'm a nature lover, and it is essential for my soul to have time in nature and to step into peace and stillness. And my favorite place to do that is in the mountains. And so on this particular trip, I planned a trip away while my boys were visiting family and set up camp and immediately went on one of my favorite trails with beautiful views of the mountains. I was able to have cacao in my favorite Love Wins mug and was just really having a beautiful evening. And the next morning after waking, I prepared some snacks and things for the day and set out to hike several trails that actually connected to the Appalachian Trail. And I was looking forward to seeing the wild ponies. And literally within the first minute of stepping onto the trail and walking, I fell. So my foot stepped into a tiny crevice on the trail and I fell and I sprained my ankle. And this is not a little tiny sprain. I was literally sat on the side of the trail just in tears, with this being the very first full day of my trip. I was just heartbroken that I wasn't able to go and explore the way that I had hoped to. And so I hobbled my way back to my vehicle. And luckily, I had a small cooler in the back and was able to use the ice that I had that was keeping my food cold to put some ice on it immediately. But I went back to my campsite and was just in utter despair and frustration because I rarely have an opportunity to get away alone. And I really just wanted to be out in nature. And so I hobbled over to a lookout area and was just able to get the most out of the day that I could. And the next morning, without being able to go on the trails, I returned to this beautiful area on a beautiful overlook. And I carried my chair and my cacao and my notebook, and I hobbled over to this area and I just sat there and really began to just trust that I was being sat here for a reason, that it wasn't something that happened to me, but something that was happening for me. And I began to journal, and words just pouring out onto the page, and realizing that this was an opportunity for me to be. There's always something to do, and there's always somewhere to go, and there's always something to be done. And I was really being asked to just be. And that's not always easy, because I think it doesn't matter what we're doing. Even if we set out in nature, it's okay, I'm going to disconnect. But what if we can just really sit and just be with ourselves without anything else? And so I hobbled myself over and sat on a giant rock and took my shoes off just so that I could get some grounding. And as I was sitting there on this rock, this beautiful butterfly came fluttering past, and I just felt really at peace in that moment as this butterfly was close to me. And I just asked the butterfly what message that it had for me, because I could really sense that it was trying to show me something while I was sitting there, not distracted. And it was sharing me this message about how those of us that relate to being dragon and having dragon energy within us, the dragon within, that perhaps we have experienced an incarnation where we were a butterfly. And I sat there and was like, what is this? Wait, I'm sorry. Could you repeat this? And this beautiful butterfly just shares with me how going through the process of transformation inside the chrysalis, that there's a breaking down and a complete transformation from who they are as a caterpillar and completely letting go of that form and letting it turn to goo, right? And more than that, but the process of rebuilding is aligning with who they truly are at their core and how it looks nothing like they used to be. So as this butterfly continued to share with me, I remembered how someone had also shared with me about the essential part of turning into a butterfly and being able to fly is the struggle, like the last parts before a butterfly comes out of the chrysalis is a really big struggle. And it is absolutely necessary in order for the butterfly to fly, that these fluids go from their body into their wings so that they can actually function and carry them without them just falling to the ground. You know, if someone were to go up to this chrysalis and cut a little hole because they see the butterfly struggling to get out, it would actually fall to the ground. It's in that process of the struggle and the forcing and the moving that it actually gains its wings. And when it comes out, it is able to fly away. And so it was relating to me that as we go through the struggle and the pain and the frustration and the complete letting go of who we thought we were and what we were here to do, and come back to our soul self, the butterfly that we're here to be, that it looks different, but that pain is absolutely necessary for us to transform into dragon. And it was such a beautiful message for me. And it really was just exactly what I needed in that moment, because my past couple of years have been extremely challenging. The challenges that I have been through personally on this journey of understanding my work with the dragons and how I am dragon. And so this message was just really beautiful, that having had perhaps an incarnation where I was a butterfly, to learn that experience. This is what it's going to take for you in the future to become who you're meant to be. Like literally this butterfly saying, you came here because first of all, you wanted to experience earth energy, which the caterpillar crawls along the earth, getting in tune with the earth, and then goes into this chrysalis and gets its wings, and then it is in the air and it's flying. And is that not an exact representation of what it means for those of us who are dragon, the exact transformation? So having had this experience with connecting to earth and connecting to air and connecting with the elements, being mirrored to the experience of becoming this dragon frequency in this lifetime. And so I just share this to say that I know many of us have gone through challenges, and just if we can step into trust for the experiences that we are having, a sprained ankle on a camping trip when I just wanted to be on a trail, but getting this beautiful download and this beautiful transmission, not only from the butterflies, but from the dragons, was a key moment for me to just see the correlation between all things and how there's messages for us everywhere. So many blessings to you on your journey, and I hope you find your dragon wings.